Alright guys, so we are hopefully firing this up today. Yesterday I didn't find a very promising sign. Brett's here. There he is. So we're going to do some investigation and I'm hoping, I'll explain it when I show you guys, but it doesn't look good. So I'm hoping that Lee from Deshelle, who built the motor, comes to the party and gives me some advice. So anyway, we're going to basically pull the rad fans off, take the front cover off, and I'll show you guys what we're looking at. So as you can see on the floor here, I've got a couple of drips, and this is only about 14 hours since yesterday when I cleaned it up. So we are thinking that it is a head gasket. Well, it looks like a head gasket to me. I'll put a video on the screen for you guys now that I took yesterday. So after seeing that, if it's not a head gasket, it could be some coolant stuck down behind the front cover. So what we're going to do is pull the fans off and take both covers off. I'll get the car up in the air and show you guys better in a sec, but yeah. Lee has basically said to one of his mates who's friends with a mate who I bought it off that it'll come good. So I'm just waiting for the confirmation from him. Alright guys, so we got some exciting news. Let me get this microphone. So Brett's still here. Ben is here, he's playing around checking some ECU data. So I've spoken to Lee from Deshelle, and he's come to the party and said basically he's seen this before, and just to start it up, it won't do any damage and it will stop. That's the head gasket coolant seepage. He said it's always normally in the middle of the head gasket down the bottom, which is exactly where mine is. So we're going to go ahead and start it. Hopefully everything's good. Just got to get the flashing setup sorted. I've made that little flashing relay to push the button. I don't know if I've released the video on that yet. If I have, go check it out here. If not, stay tuned for that. I don't know where my coupler is for here, so we'll just leave that. Maybe we should just duct tape it on. We won't be spooling up today anyway, so.
If you have good duct tape, you could probably stay there forever.
I think we're just going to have to quickly remake this charge pipe before we get started.
Why don't you just get it to start first?
Fuck, he's at it again with his words of wisdom. No, I'm only joking, we don't need that. It's fucking, it's speed density, we don't need that shit. Well, we do when we want to boost.
I think you need like a drain mesh over that so you can't drop anything into it.
Yeah, I think I do.
Yeah, that's fair. Plastic bag. Nah, that's gonna get sucked in. It's gonna get blown up like a balloon.
Yeah, as soon as that turbo spools up.
Oh, dude.
Put a condom on it.
So are we ready, sir?
Ready when you are.
Is it actually ready?
It is ready. Real time's initialized.
Just check the engine bay real quick.
Holy fuck.
Did you want to clock, do anything with that? Or
No, we're going to leave it open.
Intake's fine.
Anything that can fall in, get it away.
Does that show you the throttle position?
No, I've already checked it, it's all good.
I checked it to 100 and...
Yeah. I'll take that off just in case.
Everything's plugged in, should be plugged in.
Yep. So we're good?
Mate. You ready for turnkey?
I don't know if I am, but...
Is it in neutral?
Yeah, I just checked that. It's neutral. Come on, mate. This is the time.
Fuck. Holy fuck. This is fucking scary. You doing it?
Oh, mate, you do it. Do the honours, come on.
Oh, fuck.
I'm not even going to film it.
Fuck, this is crazy, man.
What have you done, Ben?
I can smell fuel, so that's a good thing.
Okay, yeah, it smells like there's plenty of fuel.
Let's hop into the logger.
Hopefully the calibration's right for the 1000 cc's.
Yeah, that's...
Is that what you're thinking?
That's the thing I'm thinking.
Think of one, thinking B1?
Absolutely, me too.
Your turbo is spinning, so that's exciting.
Not seized up from all that sitting in storage.
Alright, try it again.
Oh, hold on. Gotta get a full proper view of this.
Should we check
Oh,
we'll get
you
the
know
spark?
what it is? They didn't adjust the cranking raw time.
Ah,
So it's seriously flooded now.
as in plugs out clean.
What we'll try to do, you don't have a stock file without the ID1000?
Yes,
You do.
there's a stock STI
Okay, so
file.
if you have a look at cranking raw injector time, for a engine temp of, we're probably around here, you're at 16 milliseconds or so, 16 and 30 milliseconds.
Yep.
If we open a standard file, without the ID1000s, so look
Look at you
building-
knowing your way around the program already, mate.
preparing for this moment. You see how the injection time is exactly the same?
Yep.
And this is probably what, 5-7 times larger than your standard injector, so it's well flooded now.
Yeah, look at the friggin' wideband.
What's your,
Oh, Jesus.
what's your standard injector rate?
440s possibly.
Oh,
The
wouldn't be
rate
that
out of
big.
that.
Wouldn't be that big, would it?
Standards, yeah, they're 440.
CCs?
Yeah.
440 cc, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's
Really?
what the Rex
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are
That's-
440s, and you've gone to 1,000.
Thousands.
Yeah,
So you need to halve the cranking, roughly.
yeah.
So
As long as that's safe, don't take my word for 440.
It was.
Yeah,
the
it rings
stock
a bell.
yellow tops. So what do they say? If in doubt, whip XL out.
I think if in doubt, just whip it out, and then what you choose is depending on the situation. So let's do a.
Look at this gun. And it's on a foreign laptop as well. That's when you know someone's got skills.
So that should be your new in raw decimals. So let's just park this over here. Might be plugged out, buddy.
Hey?
Might be plugged out. Those things are probably totally bent.
Alright. The good fun of plugs out on an EJ.
One more
Featuring
time.
Brett.
Look at that.
These ones are actually not too bad.
The oil light's gone out. Well, this has definitely primed your oil, so that's a good
Yeah. Alright, well let's take another brief break
plugs out.
and put some plugs out. I don't know if you guys can see, but these are fucking saturated. Wow. So we're gonna test that it'll actually spark out of the car, and then yeah, hopefully clean these up. I do have a set of new plugs, but I'd rather not put them in yet while we're still playing around. So
Is this it, Carl? Final touches?
oh, I don't know, man. I'm running on like 0 sleep. Well, not enough sleep anyway.
This is autopilot. You don't see this side of Carl too much.
Yeah, it's not a good side. People don't understand the heartache with a build like this.
Blood, sweat and tears.
It is. Okay, 044's on. I think so. Alright, hop in son.
It is 11:22 time to try to start it.
Alright, so brief recap. Didn't look like we're getting strong enough spark from the factory circuit, so we wired up a separate relay straight to the Dizzy box. Battery's on charge. Fuck, what else?
That's it,
Well,
just fucking start it.
Yeah, so we're not running the LS cores because we found out, as you probably saw earlier, that it wasn't firing on time. So we're going to have to play around with that circuit to pull the timing right. So we're just back to the stock setup for now. Hopefully it works. Hopefully the plugs aren't too foul. Just do it, Ben.
Alright.
I need to go to sleep.
It's backfiring out the throttle a bit.
You ready?
Ready, Captain. Hey!
That was an exhaust backfire. Do you reckon the plugs are just fucking fouled?
I think it's not enough fuel. I don't know if this calibration's actually taking.
Attempt number 692 and
Oh my god. I think that's all over, Red Rover.
what, starter motor?
Just battery's dead.
Stop, check the back, something's sizzling back there.
Yeah, I think the starter motor might have shorted out.
Alright, so we got the battery on charge, ready for the next adventure. We have killed the starter motor. So, time for a new starter. What else happened today? Well, actually, technically, it's tomorrow of the day that we were filming this. Because it's almost 1 AM.
Somewhere in the world it's still yesterday. Most of Europe. Oh, diagnosed the whole series of wiring misnomers.
Yeah.
No names.
Corrected them.
Fuck, it's turned into a big night. Morning.
Every night here is a big night.
Yeah.
But hey, without challenges like this, you wouldn't have videos like that.
Thanks, bro. Oh my god. I don't know if you can tell, but I am fucking rat shit. I'm gonna be up in fucking 4 hours to go and do a hard day's work on the building site. Not a good idea.
Stay with the power tools.
Yeah, I might be supervisor tomorrow.
I think I've got a starter motor in the garage. I'm pretty sure.
I reckon you would too.
I just remembered.
You're the type of bloke that would have one.
I always kick it out of the way.
Oh, I don't want it then if you've been kicking it around.
That's alright, I'll keep it.
Yeah. We'll have a look.
Hopefully.
As soon as you get home this morning, go have a look. Go have a rummage around.
And then bring it back.
Yeah, drop it off.
Because there's no point in him sleeping now.
Yeah.
It's like the 40-hour diff build.
It fucking was. It fucking was. Holy shit. Oh, fuck it. Alright, let's go to bed.
Signing out.
Yeah. So, just like this, you'll see that starting. Or will you? Find out next time
Or explaining.
on BBG. Alright guys, so we're back again for round 2 of the carrot startup. So we got Brett. This time we're doing it at daytime. And we got Ben somewhere over there. There he is. So, as you can see, since last time, I've been busy on the old TIG welder. I've made a nice new charge pipe because the other one didn't fit and clear the fans. This one looks a lot sexier, and it's got that, which is just the real sex. So, Brett has kindly brought me another starter motor.
Fuck yeah.
And actually, speaking about starters, I'll show you guys. I pulled this one apart. So this is the cap at the back with all the brushes. It looks like this brush holder here has actually, the rivet has popped off or something. And then all hell's broken loose and kind of ripped up all the insulation and God knows what. Wow, I feel like a fucking idiot. But we found out hopefully why it wasn't starting. Apparently you can't run a cable that goes to another cable that's not actually the same cable. So when I was hooking up the new map sensor, I'll show you, look, I even fucking wrote, shut up phone, I even wrote on here which colour wire I was going to use and which pin. But for some reason, when it got to the map output, I had a wig out, and because the colour on the ECU plug was green, I for some fucking reason used the green wire of the 7-core cable instead of the blue. But I got it right at this plug. So, much embarrassment.
Fingers crossed.
It should actually fucking work this time. What do you reckon, Ben? It's a pretty common giveaway when the car just doesn't crank or doesn't fire without a map.
I'm not having any expectation, except I'm going to turn the key soon and hope for the best.
Alright, let's do it. Send it. Yeah, I can smell fuel. We flooded. Okay, so this is getting pretty frustration. We're doing a whole lot of diagnostics now. Brett's gone home. Ben's still here, slugging it out with us. We've just been testing the spark. So pretty much, we had originally 1 and 2, so we took all the plugs out. As you can see, we've got them clamped in a jumper cable, which is to an earth. Same on the other side. So what we noticed was 1 and 2 were working, but 3 and 4 were not. So because this is wasted spark, same coil fires 1 and 2, and the other coil fires 3 and 4. So we then swapped the pin, so the 1 and 2 trigger we put to 3 and 4, and then it's firing 3 and 4. So we originally thought it was a coil pack, but after doing that obviously rules that out. So we're thinking, we've done a continuity test all the way back to the pin at the ECU, all good. I don't know, what are you thinking, my fine friend?
Either the pin out for this particular ECU is different to the wiring loom, or the drive circuit for that coil system is not working. Otherwise there's a fault with the ECU.
So firing 2 out of 4 cylinders would explain why this fucking thing will not start.
Yeah, you get the odd pop and cough and so on. That said, all cylinders were wet, and you would think that that should light off the cylinder every time. That cylinder, for instance. So it's a combination of a whole pile of different things. We've nutted through a lot of different issues, electrical wiring issues, calibration, tune setup issues.
Yeah, so we think we've got the calibration in the ECU right.
So if we separate the diagnostic into ECU wiring, ECU calibration, and then engine bay wiring, we're pretty confident that now we've resolved all the issues with the wiring in the engine bay and at the ECU end. We've also resolved all the issues with setting up the conversion from MAF to MAFless, or to map sensor. There were some issues with the wiring from the map sensor into the ECU. That's all resolved now, and that's confirmed by the scan tool, so everything's reading sensibly. Where we're at now is we've confirmed one of the ignition outputs isn't happening, trace that all the way back through the loom to the ECU. So in the absence of having another ECU just to swap in, or really good wiring diagrams that conclusively confirm that, we're just making a decision as to what to check next.
I'm thinking the ECU.
Yeah, we could confirm that if we had a scope here to scope the trigger for the igniter, but we don't have that. So we tried the frequency setting and a couple of other functions in the multimeter, but the response isn't quick enough to make any conclusive diagnostic. So
we'll keep you guys posted.
Back to the think tank.
Alright, so another check we're doing / have done, we just set up a yellow LED with the appropriate resistor, so that goes to 12 volt, and then the ground is the ignition output.
So what happens is the ECU grounds the igniter output to trigger the it releases it to fire, so it's always connected, and that charges the coil. And when it releases the 12 volts, the collapsing field in the primary of the coil induces a spark or a potential in the secondary of the coil, which arcs, and that's how you create the spark. So when it releases the ground, and then the coil will spark. So all we want to do is just see that the output is working. So you can see that the ECU has the igniter output grounded at the moment, and the light is on, which means there's a current path from 12 volt all the way through down to the igniter ground. If you're going to do this check, you need to make sure or check what voltage your igniter works on. We know it's a 12 volt igniter circuit, so that's why it's connected to 12. If it was a 5 volt, you'd have to connect it to 5 volts, so that the ECU is not syncing the wrong voltage. So there's 12 volt, and we'll crank the engine over. And you can see that it's firing. Every time that the LED blinks is when the ECU commands the coil to fire. If we switch it to the other igniter output, you see that it's syncing the current, so the light is on, and then we'll crank it. The initial dimming, so you can see it's not flashing. The initial dim was from the current draw when the starter motor kicks over, but you see the LED wasn't flashing at all. So I think we've pretty conclusively tested that the igniter output from the ECU is dead.
So we'll quickly crack it open, see if we can have a look, and if not, we might have to send it back to France to be repaired. Don't know, we'll see.